the first thing you see in here when you've just created a new ErpNext instance is that you will see all these modules lined up like this, and you will see this home page. So you'll be able to see some of the guidelines here. So when you click on the home, they give you some guidelines on creating an item, on the steps you have to do to continue. They will tell you to create an item, create a customer, things like that. So our main focus will be the accounting module. When you click on the accounting module, you can see it is still like giving you some guidelines for the accounting module, which are, for example, reviewing chart of accounts, that is setting them up or uploading them if you're coming from a different system, then setting up taxes, accounting settings, cost centers and budgeting, things like that. So all these things, ErpNext tries to give you a guide of how you should go. So while setting it up, I told it to give me some demo data. That's why you're seeing some figures here. But normally, if you don't do that, if you don't allow if you're starting it for your business, this will be 0. So down here, you can also see other shortcuts. So they are giving you shortcuts to the different doc types here. You can see company, chart of accounts, and everything. So let's continue with our video. So now, the first thing we have is installation. So this installation can happen either on the cloud or on your premises. On the cloud, meaning you go and get a server and a domain, and then host your 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 site on that server, and then you connect your domain to it, so that you can access your ErpNext site on that domain. On premises means that you will leave your ErpNext site on your local computers. So that means you will not be able to access it via the internet or via the web. So those are the two types of installation that we can do. Cloud installation is more sought after because of the fact that people want to access their information anywhere in the world. So if you have an on-premise information, you have to rely on the reports that have been given to you by the people who are on site. Then we have setup and onboarding. This setup and onboarding really highly entails setting up your company. So you will have to come and go to the company list, and you go to the different companies here. So when you go to your company, you will have to set up your details. This abbreviation will come automatically. Your letterhead that you want to, the letterhead that you want to use on your documents, your tax ID, your domain, your date of establishment, things like this. So all this information you have to fill it in. Then also the accounting information you have to fill it in after you've set up your chart of accounts. So some of this information now, like the accounts, you have to set it up after you've added your chart of accounts. Then they'll give you more things about what you want to do for your company, and you give all these details there. So that is setting up and onboarding. And after setting up and onboarding, ErpNext should have a feel of what your company is and things like that. So you can see, for us in our site, we have two companies currently. We have this Moses, and we also have Moses Limited Demo. So this is where presumably ErpNext added my demo data so that I can be able to show you. So when you go back to the accounting, you can see the first thing they tell you here, you can add your company here, and then under accounting master, you can see you have to you first add the company. Then after you set up an onboarding, you have to configure your chart of accounts, because the goal of our accounting system is to make sure that our accounts are updated and our accounts are up to date with the correct numbers. So that means we have to, if we've been using an accounting system, for example, QuickBooks, Zoho Books, and Tally, or any other accounting system, you can move your chart of accounts from there, upload it from there, and then you can come and import it. You can come and import your chart of accounts. So after importing your chart of accounts, they should look a little bit like, just a second. First, give this permission. So I had some permission issues there. So now, when you go to your home and you click on the chart of accounts, ErpNext will give you a default chart of accounts as you can see them in this list view. But if you want to see them in another view, you can click here and then you click on tree. So it will give you a better view of how your chart of accounts looks like. Right now, it's giving us the chart of accounts of the demo account because I'm trying to, like, I added some demo data to it. So you can see we have our assets, we have current assets, and all these other accounts, liabilities, loans, what, equity. So all this is the default chart of accounts of ErpNext. So it is given to you by default. But if you are an existing business and you want to import the chart of accounts that you had previously in your accounting system, then you can come and import it here. So when you import your chart of accounts, it will replace the one that is by default given to you by ErpNext. So you can just come and do an import data import list, and then you can come and create a new data import list, and you can choose account. Then you can come and insert new records, and you can import your chart of accounts. When you click save, it will give you somewhere to attach your file. You can go and then uh, extract your current chart of accounts from your old system and import it in an Excel CSV format. So that is the chart of accounts and opening. That's the chart of accounts. Then we have opening entries. So for the opening entries, what we mean are the opening balances. In your previous system, if you've been using a system, you will have to extract your trial balance from the previous system. After extracting it, and you've made sure that it's correct, then you can get it and import it, or add those opening balances to ErpNext. So after getting those opening balances, you will add those balances into ErpNext. How? For example, we have opening balances for bank. We have bank opening balances, like asset opening balances, like bank, and any other place where your money is kept or something. So current assets, fixed assets, investments, temporary accounts, things like that. So you will have to add all those opening balances so that the system knows we have this cash in this account, we have this amount, this much cash in this bank account, and we have this much value in this kind of asset, and things like that. So you you will the next step will be importing your opening balances, and then the other opening balances you have to import are the customer and supplier opening balances. So currently, you see our accounts payable is this amount, meaning we have some money that is being demanded from us by some of our suppliers. So, uh, when you're coming into a new system, you have to make sure that all the money that is being demanded for that your suppliers are currently demanding you is in the system, so that you keep track of it and know how much is it and know when to pay it, things like that. So the other thing is you have to uh, add the opening balances, or the supplier advances and the customer advances. So if a customer came and paid in advance, for example, 1 million shillings, you have to make sure that that 1 million shillings is tracked in your account, so that you either don't forget the customer, or when the customer comes to demand for the money, or they buy some things and they want to use that money, you that you have the money in your account. That is, those are the types of opening balances you have to import. The other opening balances, we shall speak about them when we cover the inventory and stock. But for now, for the accounting part, we only want those opening balances for the from assets and liabilities. That is also the customer and supplier opening balances. Then the next thing we shall do are the users and roles. So when you're on in a new system, you have to configure the roles and permissions and also invite users and them roles. So, for example, an accounting manager will not have the same roles as a accounts user. So now, like an purchase or a procurement manager won't have the same roles as a admin or as the CEO. So all those roles should be configured in the system by coming on the roles and permissions. When you go to the role list, you can see all these roles are in the system. So you can add a role or you can use these existing ones and them to fit what you want. Then we have so you can also add users. You can configure the roles and permissions. Then you can also invite users to your system and give them roles. Then the other bit is importing master data. So this we covered it, how to import the chart of accounts, but then you also have to import the things we sell, that is the items and services we offer if we have any. So if you are maybe a manufacturing company, then you have to also import the raw materials. So all those things should be imported in the items, products, and services. So you can see the items by coming here in the item list. When you go to the item list, you can see the current that we have currently. So when you're adding items, you have to make sure that you cover some of these things like is item something that I want to maintain in stock? Then is it a sellable item? Is it a purchasable item? Do we only purchase it and we don't sell it, or we purchase it and sell it? Things like that. All those things you have to configure them while adding items. And you also have to note and make sure you add the units of measure. Yes. So this is importing items and services. So, for example, if you have a service here, for example, if camera was a service, then you don't need to maintain its stock really. You can uncheck the maintain stock, and then you eh, yes, really, you don't need to maintain its stock, and you don't. So you just uncheck that, and it will remove automatically this inventory tab because the part will no longer be required. So the next part is we have covered products and services, and you can also come and import them. So when you can come and add a data import, and then say I want to import items. Click on it, and then say new items. Save. When you save, it will allow you to download a template of how you want to import. So you can download this template and fill it with the items you want to import. Afterwards, you save that Excel file or CSV and attach it here and click OK. It will automatically import your items into the system. Then we have customers. As we talked about customers and suppliers, you have to add your customers and suppliers. You can go to the customer list. Currently, I have these three customers, and you can also add their details. And their accounts. All those things can be added. Then you can also add the supplier list. So the next bit is vendors. They mean suppliers, vendors or suppliers. So we have these customers and vendors opening balances, which we talked about. Then we have negative opening balances. This here we meaning the advances from the customers and the advances that you've the advance payments you've paid to the suppliers. Then branch specific, if you have branches, then you can also configure the branches using this doc type. You can just come and say branch list, and you can add your branch here and all its details. You can just add your branch, so the system will then organize your company into branches. Then we have okay, this one we are done. Then we have items and goods, item prices. So we also covered these items and goods and services, we how to import them and things like that. Then we shall be adding also item prices for selling purposes. So when you come to the system, go to POS, you will be given access to what? POS. So you can just come and create a new profile here and just name it testing. Okay. Say for example finished goods. Then you can add a payment method here, cash, then your right of account, then your cost center, and you come just select this as default. So when you come back to our point of sale, so that is command testing submit. So you'll be able then to see that our point of sale, and then you can choose a customer you want to sell to, and you can start selling. So some of these are required. So the POS will only allow you to sell if you have stock. So currently we have 76 headphones, so we can sell them. So you can just come and add how many you're selling to that customer, then it will automatically calculate that, and you can go ahead and check out and sell. After completing this order, then all those our accounts will be affected. And yes, so that's how the POS works. That's how these items are set up. You have to set them up well, and then also have to set up the item prices, and you also have to set up the POS profiles, and then you also have to set up the warehouses the way your business has them. So after doing all that, you'll be able to see, you'll be able to access the point of sale, and you'll be able to sell to your customers. So that is it. Then the next bit is uh, our purchase process. So our purchase process has different processes here. We have from the period of time where if you have if your business has goes through this process of purchase order, purchase invoice, purchase receipt, and then you receive the product, or you can use that process, and you can see some of those are highlighted here in the buying. It gives you material request, purchase order, purchase invoice, request for quotation. All these things you can set them up so that your system can allow you, the system can allow you to purchase items. So the purchase, we have simple expenses, like you have these simple expenses that you do as a business. You can also do those in the ErpNext system. We have purchase orders, we have purchase invoices or bills, then we have payments made against the invoices, and then you have vendor credit, so or returns. So all these can be done in ErpNext, and you can also easily access those purchase modules as you want. For example, you want to do a purchase order, purchase receipt, purchase invoice, you can do that. Then sales entries as well are allowed, already configured in ErpNext. You can do a quotation, you can do sales orders, you can do invoices, you can capture payments received, can capture advance payments, payments against invoices, returns, and then credit notes, things like that. So all these things are also present in ErpNext. When you go to selling, you can see we have all those quotation, customers, as order, all these things. You can also add sales people, and then you can see their commission that they get every after a sale. And also we have the point of sale, which I've just showed you. You have to set it up, and then really get an understanding of how the point of sale works. Then the other thing we have is the banking module. This module helps us in setting up our bank and bank accounts. And so when you come to the bank, you can come and set up uh, your bank. So you can create your bank here, you can create your bank and its details, and then you can also, after creating this bank, for example, let's create a testing bank. After creating this bank, you can be able to attach bank accounts to it. By clicking here, you can attach a bank account name, things like that. All those things you can do them. You can also set it if it is a default account, and if it's a company account, you can also set all these up. So it depends on what your business does and what accounts you have and in what banks you have them. That's the banking module. This really helps you in terms of reconciliation. If you want, for example, to reconcile your transactions between what is in the system and what you have from your bank statements, then you can also do that. You can also record credit card payments. You can also keep track of owner drawings. You can also do account to account transfer. That means you can not only between banks, but you can also do it between cash accounts and then bank accounts. Then we also have manage journal entries. These really work when you're up when you're doing opening balances, when you can use them in any way you want. But most of the time, manager entries will be mainly used when you're doing some adjustments in the accounts or some reconciliations, and maybe you're also doing opening balances and you're adding all your balances into the system. Then the system also has reports. So let's just see the manual journal entry. When you go to journal entries, and you go to journal entry list, you can create your journal entry here. You can also add your entries in terms of account. You can say I'm moving money from my cash account to my bank or some my bank account, and then you can debit and credit depending on what transaction you're doing. So that is it for the journal entries. You mainly use them when you're doing opening balances, when you're adding your opening balances to the system, and when you're doing account adjustments, or when you're doing depreciation, loans, you're adding your loans given and the loans taken, all these other things, you can do them. So we also have quite very many reports. Since this is an ERP, you can access a variety of reports. So when it comes to accounting, it will just give you a bit of the reports that we have. We have just give you let me just show you some reports. Buying, we have should be having some reports. Yeah, you can see reports here. See key reports here. You can purchase analytics, order, supplier wise, sales analytics, all those things. Then we have also some sales reports. We have sales analytics and all these other things. Then we also have the main accounting reports. The main accounting reports. So let's come here and say we want trial balance report to give you that. Then, for example, you want the balance sheet, we also be able to give you that, show you the total asset and total liability and equity, things like that, and to also show your breakdown here. Then we also have profit and loss report and loss statement. And click on it, you can also see the profit and loss statement to show you the income this year and the expenses this year, and to also show you the profit of the year. And down here to also give you a breakdown of what has been happening there in the individual accounts. So that is it for reports. There are quite very many reports in the system. You will have as many as you want, and you can also create new ones. You can also add new ones. So we have the system is really set up to allow a lot of automation for you. If you want to do a lot of automation, you can do that. You can set reminders, you can add rows, you can set custom functions, you can do all these things. So you can do all that. Then customizations, you can also do a lot of customization, and you can also set up customer and vendor portals. So all those things are there. As you can see here in this website section, you can also set up photos here. So a lot of things are in the accounting part. It's in the accounting system of ErpNext. Everything is right there for you to configure your business how you want it, because different businesses have different ways of doing things. So it is very versatile. So that thing is very, very versatile for you to configure whatever you want. Yes, I think that does it for the accounting part. If you need any help in setting up the system, you can reach us. I assure you that we shall be of very good help for you. And yes, when you reach us, we can set this system for you, and we can also visualize your business how it how it is set up, so that we can help you set this ERP next for you, and for you to have a good system or like for your business, which can also help you in decision making and things like that. So that is it for the accounting part. The next video we shall be covering an overview of the inventory part. Thank you.